Hi, René.
Hey, Andre.
So, the topic of today is you basically, you are the owner of a psychedelic retreat. Why don't you just explain how you got in this position? It's not like the regular way of living and working, I think. So it's pretty interesting to see how did you get where you are right now.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question and also for the invitation for being here. Yeah, I'm I have a co-founded three plant medicine centers, all based in the Netherlands. Two of them are still running. The other one I stepped out in 2018. The first one. How did I get into it? Yeah, so basically starting with my own journey, I came to a point in life where I felt really in need of help. I felt I had anxiety. I was worrying about a lot of things. I had mild depression, and although I had a lot of good things in my life as well, in terms of a lot of loving family and friends, but there was something felt missing. And that's why I did my first psychedelic experience, like proper psychedelic experience. I need to say, like in a secured setting, in a retreat setting, and that completely changed my life. My depression was gone, my fear of death was gone. From a negative person, I tend more to be a positive person, start thinking in possibilities instead of problems, and I had like a huge spiritual awakening, which I considered back then as the bonus. Which I also thought that this was something impossible, because I was a very strong believer in nothing. So like an atheist. For me, it was impossible that there was more to life than this coincidence we called being born, and like evolution and all of that. So yeah, that was like a completely life-changing experience for me. And I never got like an insight or a message like, hey, you need to do this, or you need to open a center or something. But I knew straight away, I need to do something with this. I need to, I don't know, spread the word, or I need to, I want to be involved. So I got really interested in the topic, because it completely changed my life. And back then, that was early 2010s, not a lot of people heard about the healing effects. It was, the psychedelic was more like for tripping or festivals. I mean, everybody heard of magic mushrooms and LSD, but not per se in this sense, which we're using it for now, and also what a lot of the research is saying. So I just wanted to be involved, and basically one thing led to another. Did a couple of different type of psychedelic retreats. Started with ayahuasca. Also had my mushroom journeys and a couple of other plant medicines. And basically at some point told friends about it. They also wanted to try it, but they said, okay, can you maybe hold space? Said, I can try. Well, I will help you. No worries. And that's basically how it started, with a couple of friends, and that spread word. They had some friends and family, and that became more and more and more. So every free weekend I was conducting ceremonies. And at some point I thought, okay, this really, it gave me a lot of, meaning. It was beautiful to see that a lot of others also had these big transformational journeys. So I thought, okay, now, why not start doing this professionally? Then, I basically talked to another friend of mine back then, and he had a place at his home, and he was also more knowledgeable than me behind the computer. So created a website and all of that, and this is basically how I start doing it professionally. Yeah.
Mhm. So it sounds like a pretty organic way that it all happened. Like,
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Indeed.
you didn't really set out to do it this way, but now, yeah, you're kind of, yeah, on the front lines of this whole movement, you could say.
Yeah, it was really there was no business plan or something. That it was just it came from the heart, and word of mouth. It spread it pretty quick. I never could have imagined that it would grow to what it is now, or even what it was, because it was even way bigger. But that was one of the reasons I also stopped in 2018, because it became too big. At 2017, three locations. So
Hmm.
one center, three locations with up to 100 to 150 people a week. So that was a lot, way too much,
Yeah,
with a big team, over 52 guides, ceremony leaders, and that was it was too much. So I thought, okay, I need to go another path. So the person who I founded that center with, he took over my part, and I went my own way with a new partner. So co-founded the recent centers I have, and the rest is history.
yeah. And your first time, you said, was early 2010s, right? Like
Yeah,
the
exactly,
first
exactly.
psychedelic.
I mean, first time taking psychedelic was even a bit earlier, but having the full awakening and start feeling the need to serve, basically. That was early 2010s. Yeah.
And did you start straight away with ayahuasca, or was it psilocybin or anything else?
Yeah. So with helping people, that was with ayahuasca. Yes.
Hmm.
There was already quite of a movement in the Netherlands with ayahuasca. Ayahuasca was brought to the Netherlands by a church which is called the Santo Daime, and Santo Daime is a Brazilian church where they serve ayahuasca as their holy sacrament. I'm not sure what the English word is,
Okay.
and I think they came to the Netherlands in the 80s, 90s, somewhere there. Not 100% sure, but at least a longer time ago. And from that church, they got a lot of offspring, basically, like people who left the church but started doing their own thing. So you got like this I would say, more esoteric type of ceremonies. So not particularly to a religion or a shamanic, but more a little bit tailored to the current needs, I think, of many people.
Hmm.
Um, so that was already there, and yeah, from visiting a couple of different ceremonies, I start creating my own thing.
Okay, so you did your first time with this church, or with
No, 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 not
with
no, no.
us?
I tried the church as well afterwards,
Hmm.
because I wanted to try every type of ceremony there was, to get like a good glimpse of what is out there and what are the ways you can work with this medicine, with ayahuasca. So
Hmm.
the church. So no, this was more like an new age type of setting, I would say. It was with some rituals around it, with dancing. Eye gazing, looking at strangers like a minute in the eye and see what you look at.
Okay.
And I was a very, let's say, down to earth person. So again, nothing with spirituality, religion whatsoever. When we met friends, we never hugged. It was always a handshake or maybe a tap on the shoulder, but nothing like that. Not gazing
Yeah.
strangers in the eyes. It was pretty far out of the comfort zone. Anyway, I was open to it, but definitely it was already quite of a step, I would say, going from nothing into these type of um, um, rituals or modalities. And that was the first time. And then I did a couple of other retreats within ayahuasca with shamans, with the church, more esoteric, therapeutical as well. And I saw that every setting basically had their own public, people who are interested in more in religion or shamanic or more new age. But I really did not really saw a setting where down to very basically people pretty down to earth, not particular looking into shamanic or religious, more like everyday persons. There was not really a place for them to go. That's where the idea came from, to make like more of a down to earth setting, to really experience the psychedelic in a safe and secure way, but without a lot of rules, rituals, and dogma around it. Just come as you are, and with a lot of respect, of course, for the indigenous wisdom and for the plant medicine. But other than that, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. And I can really relate to you, because for me it was kind of the same. Before I had my first ceremony, I was really a guy like, I didn't believe in anything. I thought everything is just coincidence and there's no meaning. Like basically in the whole world, it all just happens uh, because of chance. Yeah, and that after the ceremony, it's pretty for a guy like me, it's pretty world shattering, if you can say that. How did you deal with basically, yeah, this whole new worldview?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you pretty much had to leave all your past beliefs, right?
Indeed, big time. So they call this type of experience also like an ontological shock, that you from one moment and the other you have like a complete different view on the world, on what you believed wasn't true. And so I was pretty lucky, I would say, that I could very much cope with it myself. I'm anyway a type of person who very easily can accept something if it happens. Okay, it was not what I thought of. It's this now, so that's now the new reality.
Okay.
But that's I guess I was lucky with that, because for sure it can bring up problems for people when you're having these big revelations, like all of a sudden everything turns out to be different than we thought of or teach. Or that's why we are offering preparation and integration sessions as well, really to help guiding people throughout these processes, how to navigate that. Yeah, it's basically it's what they say. It's there's a life before psychedelics and a life after, and it's a start of a new life. Basically, it's the start of a search, I would say, like, because in the end, everybody needs to find their own truth. The truth cannot be told; it needs to be discovered, because everybody has their own truth in a way, and my truth might not resonate with your truth, and all of that. So it's really a starting point of a whole new journey, a quest, I would say, to find out what is more to life, what is reality, what is spirituality, what is the meaning. Many people also start changing career, for example, often they find out in their journeys that the life they were living was, uh, in a sense, meaningless, serving the system, basically, doing jobs which, did not do not really serve the community as humanity. And people start, often slowly look into other ways. What you hear a lot is that people start, more following their passion, their heart. Maybe start looking into psychology. Others maybe start with doing courses in, massage, or going into some sort of, esoteric, streams,
Yeah.
or just, like,
Starting a
yourself,
podcast. Yeah.
or starting a podcast, for example. Yeah, there's spreading the word, start, being having the feeling of being more, doing more meaningful things than people did before.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's, we see quite a lot.
absolutely. You mentioned the word truth. So that's very interesting for me because um, if I look at all the spiritual teachers, like from past and present, they seem to converge to some kind of universal truth, like that. Yeah, we are infinite beings. That love is basically everything, and uh, these teachings, you can find them with everybody. It seems like.
Mhm.
So, would you say there is a universal truth out there, or is it just the human mind making patterns?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's not a question anymore if these things are true or exist. For me, it became, fact. Because of my own journeys, because of guiding thousands of people in their journeys and hearing their stories, and also by other, personal development, workshops, I did, and the search you are on. So yeah, that's definitely, for me, a truth. We are, in a sense, an infinite being. We all have, consciousness, or what others call, souls, which is, indestructible. I would say it's always there. It always was there, and now we're having this, human, experience in terms of, for the benefit for growth. And at the core base, there's, unconditional, love. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah, and that's also like a pretty important point that you said earlier, that you cannot teach these things because I experienced it, like you have to feel it. If you don't feel it, then you don't understand it. Like you can listen to so much of what Buddha said or what any spiritual teacher says, but if you never really felt it, you don't really get it.
Mhm. Yeah. No, absolutely. These, many of the things needs to be, felt, needs to be experienced in order for you to fully understand, the grasp of it. And that's why, psychedelics are such a wonderful tool, because, they can, invoke these feelings, these experiences. It's never sure, it's never a promise, but it happens a lot. You also can have these, feelings through, meditation, through yoga, to all sorts of, other, modalities, out there. I mean, psychedelic are not the only way. There are many ways which leads to the same path. But indeed, yeah, to fully understand, you need to experience it. And then again, it's very hard to explain, like, what you exactly, experience. It's just like a deep knowing, often, like, okay, this is fundamentally shift now, like, because also with the psychedelic experiences, they are often very hard to put into words. And, what did actually change? What did you see? What did you felt? And, often it's hard to put into word, but you just know, okay, this is the truth. So for yourself,
Yeah.
and, yeah, big topics.
Yeah, and words are also so interesting. Like words are really just used to describe things. Like if I say a tree, then you have this image in your mind, like of what a tree is. So it's just descriptive.
Mhm.
So it kind of makes sense that we cannot really explain the stuff that we feel is true, that we feel is right in words, because words have their limitations and what they can like transfer. They can only transfer what you already know. Like
Mhm.
if I told you I saw a tree, but you have never seen a tree, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You need to have some sort of reference point.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay. So how many times have you done like ayahuasca or psychedelics in general?
Oh, hard. I didn't have really took account of them, but for sure more of over 100 times over the years. Um, so we worked for a while with shamans, Peruvian indigenous shamans, and there it's also a custom that you drink with them during the ceremony. So that also adds up to the numbers.
Okay.
Um, it's also very connected to my work. Basically, I would not suggest or recommend that somebody needs to do that amount of psychedelic experiences. I mean, I know people who did way more, but generally it's less. It's also not needed in that sense, especially if you would do it for your personal development. Um, but every journey is different. Every um, plant medicine, if it's psilocybin, is it ayahuasca, is it San Pedro, they are all, yeah, they're also different. They have similarities, but it's basically a different, uh, uh, different sense, a different energy, different feel to it.
Hmm.
Um, and that's again also for everybody different. So if you would have 5 people in the room and 5 people have a lot of experience with mushrooms and with ayahuasca, and you would ask them, hey, what is for you the difference, then you get also 5 different answers. There's not
Yeah.
like this you have an average of people, but it's never a guarantee, or it's never every time you think, oh, now I understand it, I got it, then you get such a another ontological shock, and then you get a lovely reminder of, okay, you don't know anything.
Yeah, I think that's the best mindset to just say I don't know anything for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also focused on ayahuasca pretty soon, pretty early, like I
Mhm.
understood it. So what made it stand out so much that you thought that this deserves your focus?
Because on ayahuasca, I had my life changing experience. Back then, you didn't had the psilocybin retreats as you have them now. They are relatively new thing. I think that kind of started in 2017, 18, and the ayahuasca retreats are already like way older.
Okay.
Um, so I'm pretty convinced that if I would have done a psilocybin retreat in the same setting back then, I would have had very similar outcomes. So basically, because yeah, again, I had a life-changing experience on ayahuasca, and I thought, okay, why is not know too much people about this? Why is there a lot of like misinformation about it when you go online, when you check out Wikipedia or something? Why is this not more known? And that's why I got like very motivated into doing this, and with ayahuasca. Yeah,
Hmm.
it really it completely changed my life, and that's why I wanna, yeah, give something back basically, by holding space for others, having the opportunity, creating a safe space so people yeah, feel um, um, safe to open themselves up to this
Hmm.
big experiences.
Yeah, I read somewhere that ayahuasca basically the active ingredient DMT, right? And it's pretty similar to what is in psilocybin on a molecular basis.
Yeah.
So then you're pretty much on point with your theory that you probably would have the same experience with psilocybin, but in another setting.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, if you would look at the molecular level, it looks all a lot like serotonin, the psilocybin, the DMT, and also serotonin. They are just a little bit different. Although I would not only point it out to the molecular structure, because it has a lot to do. For me, the molecular structure is the key who opens the lock, kind of. And you have like a little bit of a different size of key, but it opens the same lock, the same consciousness. So yeah, in that sense, I mean, it most likely would have been a different experience. But from my experience now, I cannot say that in a retreat setting, ayahuasca is more healing than psilocybin. For me, they are from in general equal. No, from what I experienced with guiding people, having my own experiences, and of course you have differences. It's not again also not a promise. Some people really stick with ayahuasca. Some people really stick with psilocybin. We offer both, so it's also nice that in a rare case we say, okay, we've tried it. Maybe ayahuasca will maybe better for you, or the other way around. And then often that turns out to be true. Some people switch who came already for some years for ayahuasca. They are now fully into the psilocybin, and also other way around. So it's also very interesting.
So would you say there's a difference that you could describe, like in the way the experience unfolds if you take ayahuasca or psilocybin, or is it just dependent on the person?
No, it's depending on the person, but also like psilocybin is more stable in a way, I would say. So with psilocybin, you have a higher chance of getting the experience you need. I mean, you always get the experience you need, but sometimes with ayahuasca, it can be that it just like the psychedelic experience doesn't reveal itself. On a side note, this is also not always necessary. But for example, if somebody had like a very mild experience on ayahuasca, although they drink like a significant amount, and nothing much happened for them, and also in the aftermath, then we can say, okay, you can always consider ayahuasca, right? Psilocybin. When you, for example, people with antidepressants, sometimes this particular medicine didn't work, and then the doctor prescribes another one, and that might be more effective for them for whatever reason. So it's the brain chemistry. That's like a comparison. Of course, you cannot compare this with antidepressant whatsoever, but it might just work differently on your brain chemistry.
Yeah. You also said it's like a key that unlocks something. What's your theory? Like, what's behind all of the stuff? What's the guiding force? What is what is happening in these experiences?
I mean, it's all in a sense speculation. There is no rigorous research which definitely say it's this or that. My sense, after my experiences, is that you are. I mean, it's a mind-altering experience. It expands your consciousness. So basically, your brain can also receive consciousness. It can receive certain realities, and with these experiences you have access to let's say a different frequency. The same if you have a radio, and the old school radios in the car, for example, you turn the wheel and then you get to a different station. metaphorically speaking, this could be the same. So you're taking psychedelics and you tune into another type of consciousness. In general, not always. Again, so all the things I say is for my general experience. Like on average, you always have, different experiences as well. But that's what it does in general. And you basically receive a higher form of consciousness. Depending also on your journey, I could say for my own journey is that the first, let's say 8 ceremonies, 8 to 10 ceremonies I did was really about personal development, was a lot about myself and, how to deal, like the good things, the bad things. But as you prolong this journey, these things rarely happens when I now take any psychedelic. It's more abstract, I would say. It's more turning into energies, frequencies, vibrations. So it became another thing, just as healing, but on another level. It's like when you have went through your if you have done the work you need to have done, then you kind of level up in a way. Maybe again a bit of a different consciousness, a higher consciousness, or something like that. That's how it. That's the sense I have from it. Yeah. So for me, it's a type of an higher consciousness. Then depending on the plant medicine you take, you have different, let's say, archetypes. Ayahuasca is very much related to a grandmother or a mother archetype. Then you have a cactus called peyote or San Pedro. They are more connected to the archetype of a grandfather or a fatherly figure. And then you have the mushrooms, which are often referred to the holy children, which sometimes have a playful but also very direct energy around them. Again, this is on average. It's not always. It's not like, oh, take this and you will get that. That's not the way how it works. But this is definitely in general.
Yeah, that's also what I heard when talking to people or like watching YouTube videos. A lot of people say the same stuff, but you can never generalize it to all of the population.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I'm always very careful in saying, I mean, there are so many great reviews and they're all true. But yeah, you also need to manage expectation often because there are all possibilities, but it's never a guarantee. So for me, psychedelic and going on a retreat is like a big opportunity. It's an opportunity to work on yourself, but it is very, very, very rarely that somebody said, this was exactly what I expected. It's always the other way around. That's why I always like to make the joke, like, don't take any expectations or try to, because I never heard anybody said this was exactly what I expected. It is always different.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time that I was at your place, I was really like I had no expectations, honestly, because it was so out there that I couldn't even imagine what would happen. Yeah, and it still surprised me. Like I went in with no expectations, and I was still surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's most likely will surprise the majority of the people who are doing this.
Yeah. But also there's a dark side to it, like not dark, but maybe dangerous. Maybe also like I heard of retreats in South America that use these altered states of the people to manipulate them, maybe to harm them. What do you say about this dark side of the retreat?
Yeah. So basically, this is all coming from traditions like shamanic traditions. So I worked a lot with the Shipibo Conibo tribes from Peru,
Hmm.
and so that whole witchcraft, dark side kind of thing is very, very much embedded in their culture. Um, Interestingly, when I worked with the shamans and we invited them to our center, um, they always were afraid of the former shaman, that they left some sort of a spell or something like that.
Okay.
We're very afraid of that. So it's very much embedded in that kind of things. And from my experience, I work a lot with challenge, but also without. If you work without, you don't invoke these kind of things. Again, there's definitely good and bad out there, also in this field, and also with these experiences. But you can also attract certain things if you are worrying a lot about this before going into the ceremony. There's a higher likelihood that something you might can come across. So if I would conduct ceremonies already need to having fear of spiritual attacks and stuff, then almost with a high certainty it will happen at some point. And yeah, since I never had that, I never experienced something like that, like in my
Hmm.
ceremonies. With working with shamans, you definitely had quicker some darker experience for people, for sure. Yeah, especially when you go to South America. With these things, you really need to do your due diligence. Don't go somewhere where you cannot find any information about, or if you don't know somebody who was there before. I mean, you have people who go to the jungle and basically step off the plane, and the first people who they speak to in the city or on the airport, there they go. So I would strongly advise not to do that. But I mean, nowadays online you can find a lot of good places. Just have a call with them, ask any questions, go to the reviews as well, get a sense of what kind of place this is, and then yeah, there's a good chance that you're ending up in the right place. It's just also following your common sense. I would say don't be stupid with these kind of things.
That's good advice. Pretty important. Always,
Very important. Yeah, very, very
yeah,
important.
always follow your common sense. Definitely. Yeah, since we're talking about business, also a little bit, how do you unite this spiritual world with the business world? Like they seem pretty opposite sides of the spectrum, if I say
Mhm.
so. How do you manage to unite it and lead a retreat that's not only profit focused, but also focused on the well-being of the participants and the
Mhm.
crew?
Yeah. Um, I think that in the beginning, that was when I started, that was a little bit of a more difficult topic than it is nowadays, I would say. So indeed, the way I started, so basically the way I started, I just helped friends and family. I didn't even charge money, and if they wanted to give me something, it was fine. I could buy some more medicine of that. Um, so basically, by growing through the years, also the level of so you gain more experience. Also, more research comes out. Like, okay, this is a good way to do it, or this is a more safe way to do it, or the level. Everything has its price, and you have like a level of professionality or safety you want you want to give, and the higher you want to put that level, the more experts you need to hire into your team, the higher the cost will be. So combining that, like the spiritual work, yeah, it is a service. What we provide, we are dedicated our lives to this work. We make sure that we create a safe place where everything is well arranged before, during, and after the ceremonies. And it's exactly for those people who resonate with that kind of setting. That's why I also think it's very important and great that there are multiple settings. Basically, there's a setting for any type of person. So there's for any type or any budget, you can find a ceremony or a retreat. So I'm very happy that we're not the only one, because then you would get more pressure in turning this into a business.
Mm-hmm.
But people are always free to come and to choose where they can and want. Yeah, combining this work, I mean, it started off definitely and still comes from the right place, by really want to contribute to make a change in the world and to people's lives. Yeah, but also then again, this also needs to be in balance. We are very lucky that most of the psychedelics we work with are like fully legal in the Netherlands. So it's a normal company with normal registration. We'll also get the normal tax bills, and we need to pay normal rent, normal utilities.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently with a team of 30 people, so it's also quite of it's quite of a number. And also they who dedicate their lives need to be paid and need to, pay their bills, make a living, follow their dreams, save up, and so it's in that sense it's a normal business. So yeah, basically, by running in a business, you have all your costs, which needs to be paid. Again, it is a service we provide, and we try to do this at the highest level. But also trying to make a healthy company from it. We had recently the COVID, with basically luckily we survived, but in the normal way you would bankrupt straight away with such a company if you have no healthy company. So sometimes I also like to make the comparison that if you would like this to do this as a volunteer, because this is also a point, like what type of people can come, or is this for everybody? Then even if I would want to do this, let's say for free, basically want to help people for free, then it would require an enormous amount of money to run a center like this, giving it for free, because your costs stay the same. The people involved still need to work, need to pay their rent. We need to pay the rent. Still, we need to pay probably less taxes if we do it for free, but for sure all your other costs will stay the same. So
Yeah. Okay. So I just one last question, a little bit deep, but maybe you can answer it. What's the purpose of life?
The purpose of life is living. I don't think there's a real built-in purpose than living the life you to the fullest you can. I do think that this life has a lot to do with grow as a consciousness, as a soul. and by having this experience, you yeah, you learn. I don't think it doesn't has a built-in purpose. I think the purpose is the thing which resonates most with you. Purposes also can change. First part of your life, you can have this purpose. Second part of your life, you can have that purpose, and then another purpose.
Yeah.
So really following your passion, what really excites you. I think that's really and yeah, try to do don't hurt others. Um, Try to do everything, to the best you can. I think that I would say is would be the purpose.
Yeah. Beautiful. I think you're kind of right. I don't I don't
Not
have
sure, but
I don't have an answer either, yeah. But
no,
it sounds good. Experience for the sake of experience. Maybe
exactly.
maybe it's just that simple and we just think too much.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to find this big purpose or this or that, or I mean, another important thing is that often when people have these experiences, then they think, oh wow, I need to change my job, or I also need to help like a lot of people. It's not about that. It's more, um, do whatever you can to your ability. So let's say you can always help, let's say an elderly lady helping across the street, going by your neighbor who doesn't have any friends or family. You don't have to have like thousands of people you need to help it. Just do one person at a time, whatever you can. And some people have the gift or the power or the finances maybe to help like a huge group, but it's not about that. It's about doing good. What you will send out, you will receive back, and just start by by doing that. It don't always have to be big or grandiose or like a huge philanthropist. I mean, um, there's a lady, she calls it uh, energy philanthropy, and
Mhm.
I like that word. It's
Yeah.
really like, okay, just help somebody else with your energy, and that's also philanthropy. You don't have to be like billions of dollars or helping hundreds of people at the same time. Just uh, helping somebody else, but also don't forget yourself in the way, because you're it's your life's journey. It's not about others. Finding the right thing, which is the right thing for yourself. Finding, again, that purpose, whatever purpose that might be.
Sometimes it's just as simple as being there for people, like not even actively.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's just enough to be there, to be present, to not look at the phone, to just yeah, be with other people. And I think that also creates a ripple effect. Like
yeah,
if you are just there for a person, that person feels safe, and maybe that changes the whole trajectory of their life. You never know.
exactly, exactly. I had a couple of years ago. I was walking in the street with my little family. Just had a newborn baby, and it starts raining. And all of a sudden, the guy came out of the blue, and he held his
Umbrella.
umbrella for my wife and the baby, and he even said, "You can have it." That's we just had a little walk to do, but it's still something which I think something. Oh, that's like very kind. It's a very small gesture, but it brings like a lot, and it definitely can make somebody's day. Like you were saying, you never know where somebody else is in his headspace, or just an act of kindness uh, may reach more than anything else, because this person feels good, and also start thinking, oh, maybe I don't know, like, will help this person, or maybe donate something, or you never know how the ripple effect goes. But
Yeah, you also realize that maybe if you are in a negative headspace in that moment, and then you have the small gesture from this nice person, then you start believing again in good things and in the good of the people. Yeah, it's very
Exactly.
important. Maybe your mindset shifts even because of this one moment.
Exactly. Just think about when you're driving in your car and somebody, cuts you off, maybe, which can happen always, and but if somebody very friendly waves and, oh, sorry, you straight away feel better. But if somebody start doing arrogant, you get like, the opposite. You get very, so, or if somebody waves at you, or a very small thing, you straight away feel different. So it's when you're having this act of kindness or respect, then it makes an impact on everybody, basically.
Definitely. Even also the reverse is possible. We see it all the time. Like if you're an
Mhm.
asshole to somebody, maybe you ruin their whole day, maybe the whole week. You never know. So you have
Exactly.
to be
Yeah.
very careful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much for your time. I think it was beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, Andre, for your time and for this opportunity. And I wish you all the luck with this podcast. And maybe we can do this again in some time.
Yeah, I would love
If
to.
your audience is willing to hear more of the stories, we can dive into a couple of other topics as well. So I'm always open to that. And thank you so much for all you are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.